Hey girls and boys, welcome to another session of Junior Achievement. Today's session, Do I Need What I Want? My name is Mr. Shaia. I grew up right here in Richmond. I have two kids who are now grown, Megan, who lives in Raleigh, North Carolina, and Alex, who lives in Washington, D.C. My heritage is Lebanese. Both my parents came from the country Lebanon. I love to cook, play tennis, soccer, and I also like to bike ride. For work, I work for a flooring contractor, a company that installs flooring, just like what you may be standing or sitting on right now.
Hi, I'm Anitra Cassas. I also live in Richmond, Virginia now, but I am originally from Reno, Nevada, out on the West Coast, and I moved to DC for 10 years to work for the government. And now I am a lawyer here in Richmond, Virginia. I have one son who is 8 years old. He's in third grade, and he's also learning about needs and wants. And I think he's going to join us a little bit later on in the video to help us work through what do I need and what do I want.
In our first session, you learned about two very important words. The first word you learned was choice. Choice. Say it out loud with me. Choice. To pick one thing over another. Choice. The other important term that you learned in the first session was money. Money. Something that you use to pay for things that you need or want. Money. Choices. We make choices all the time. Oftentimes, you don't even realize that you're making choices. Like this morning, when you got up and got dressed, you made choices. You looked and said, do I want to wear shorts or do I want to wear pants? Is it going to be warm outside or is it going to be cold outside? You are making choices. Do I want to wear a sweater? Do I need a jacket? All these are choices. I made choices this morning too. When I was getting ready for work, I made a choice of what I wanted for lunch. I was thinking, do I want a bologna sandwich, a tuna sandwich, or maybe even a peanut butter and banana sandwich? I had to make a choice. You know what I chose? I chose, that's right, a peanut butter and banana sandwich because I love bananas. We make choices all the time.
That doesn't sound very good to me, Mr. Shaia.
Well, not all the choices are good choices.
Regular peanut butter and jelly.
But we do try to make good choices as often as we can. And we have to make choices for the things we need and for the things we want.
Thank you. So I'm going to talk about needs and wants. So, right? Making good choices with our money sounds really good, and that's what we need to do. But sometimes we want to make choices maybe that are not so good to do with money. So we're going to be talking about things that we need and want. So let's say need. Let's say it together, need, and it's spelled N-E-E-D. A need is something people must have to live. A want is something that people would like to have. So we need lots of things like food and clothing and transportation and water to live. We cannot live without water. We can't live without food, right? But every time we make a choice, there's a choice between what we need and maybe what we want for lunch. Right? So what we need is good, nutritious food to fill up our bellies, but maybe what we want is just a lunch made of candy. So we're going to be going over some of the needs and the wants today with our poster. And, oh, what was that? Excuse me, just one moment. Hello, boys and girls. Look who it is. It's my friend, Joe the cowboy. I told you at the beginning of the video that I'm from Nevada, and Nevada's a desert, and there's lots of ranches. So with cowboys and cows and horses. Now, so our friend Joe has come to visit, and he's going to help us and Mr. Shaia go through the needs and the wants on the poster. Howdy, boys and girls. What you doing all out there?
Hey, Cowboy Joe.
Ride some horses with me.
Okay, girls and boys, now we're going to go through our needs in one poster. I want you to help us identify a need or a want. On the poster, can you find 2 slices of bread that I used to make a peanut butter and banana sandwich today? Great. Now, is that a need or is that a want?
Mm, I think that's a want.
I think that might be a need. We need bread to
Oh,
eat. We need bread
no,
to
I got
live.
that wrong.
But that's okay. We still got more tries to go. So let's give it another try, okay? Can you find a sweater the color of the bee?
Right here below the bread.
Perfect. That's great. Exactly. Now, is that a need or is that a want?
I think that's a want.
Well, you know, we do need clothes to keep ourselves warm and dry. So clothes may be more of a need than a want.
That sounds right.
So let's try again. Let's try another one. How about, can you find a kitty cat?
Here he is. I prefer dogs myself, but this cat's pretty cute.
Great. So what do we think? Do we think that a kitty cat or a stuffed animal is a need or a want?
That is definitely a want.
Great. Do you know why it's a want as opposed to a need?
Oh, I think it's because we don't need animals to live, but they sure are fun to have.
Great. You're exactly right. So let's try another one. Let's try to find a house or an apartment to live in. Can you find a house or an apartment?
Here it is.
Great. Perfect. Now, let's think hard. Do we think that is a need or a want?
I think that's definitely a need. You need to have a house to live in order to stay warm and dry.
Perfect. You are exactly right. Great job. I'm going to do a really hard one right now. Can you find a computer?
What's a computer?
A computer is something that has a screen and some keyboards. And often, perfect. Awesome. Great job. Now, this is really hard. You're going to really have to put on your thinking cap and think whether it is a need or a want.
Is it a need?
Great. I think it can be a need, and it also can be a want. Sometimes things that we need and want can be both, like a computer. Many people don't need a computer for work or for play, but some people do need a computer for school and work. So right now you are using a computer to watch this video. So you needed the computer to watch the video. But sometimes you don't have to have a computer. So it could be just a want. So sometimes things can be both. Let's try one more. How about a bicycle? Can you find the bicycle?
Yeah, I love bicycles. They're not as good as horses for transportation, but they're still pretty fun.
And they are fun. I love riding too. So what do we think? Do you think that's a need or a want?
Well, I think it depends on what other forms of transportation you have. If you have a car, then it might just, or a horse, then it might just be a want. But a lot of people ride bicycles in order to get around, to work and to home and to the store. And they sometimes have baskets to put things in when they go shopping. So they use their bike to get around. So that's definitely a need.
Wow, Cowboy Joe, you are so smart and you are exactly right. So you can use a bike for fun and for work to get around. Some people can walk, some people can drive, some people can ride bikes, but sometimes you need a bike to get somewhere. So you're exactly right. Great job.
Thank you. All right, boys and girls, we've come to the last portion of our lesson today. And I would like to invite, Cowboy Joe has gone back to his ranch, so I'd like to invite another helper to come and help us discuss needs and wants. This is my son, Graham. And as I mentioned, he's in 3rd grade. He's 8 years old. And we discuss needs and wants and making good choices with money a lot in our family. Is that right, Graham?
Right.
Okay. So, for example, when Graham receives a little bit of money, maybe for his birthday from his grandma and grandpa, we take that money and we put it in 3 buckets. What are those 3 buckets?
Spend, save, and give.
That's right. And the biggest bucket is save. What are you saving that money for?
For college.
For college, because college can cost money. So it does cost money. So we save the biggest portion of any money Graham gets for college, which is how many years away? 10, that's right. So we have to save a lot of money to get to college in 10 years. So another one of the buckets is give. And what are we saving that money for?
To buy food and water for people that can't afford it.
Right. So we're saving that money to give to people that need to buy things that they need, like food and clothing and other things that they may need to buy. Is that right?
Right.
Right. Okay. And the last bucket, what's the last bucket for?
Spend.
Spend. And what does that mean? What are you saving that bucket of money for?
For Nintendo.
A Nintendo. Interesting. Is a Nintendo something you need or something you want?
The need.
A need. Boys and girls, is that right? Does Graham need video games? Graham, what is it?
You want.
It's a want, something you want a lot, right?
Right.
Okay, so video games, that's an easy example, right? So nobody needs video games, but a lot of us like video games. Okay, so let's do another example, one more example. How about shoes? Are shoes a need or a want?
They're both, because you need shoes to walk, and if you don't and you're out in nature, then like your feet would get blisters.
That's right.
Wow.
And why are shoes also a want?
Because you may buy shoes that cost more.
Right. So there's different prices for different shoes, and you may want shoes that maybe cost a little bit more money, right?
Right.
But you don't need to buy the most expensive shoes. You just need shoes to walk around, especially outside in nature.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I hope that makes sense, and I hope you've enjoyed having Graham with us discussing needs and wants. And Mr. Shaia, is there anything else you'd like to say?
Wow, that was awesome. Thank you, Graham, very much. You are one smart young man. So that's all the time we have today, girls and boys. We really appreciate you listening. You've been awesome listeners. We thank you again. And just remember, needs, something people must have to live, and want, something people would like to have. So we appreciate your time. We hope you have a great day. And from Junior Achievement, continue to have a great school year. Thank you. Bye, boys and girls.
Bye.
Bye.